ranges every 3 years, and they would get, because salaries are adding COLA, and if we're not adjusting ranges to COLA, they're not sustained. So what I did is I worked on getting that back on track, and then every year, what I'll be doing is I'll be bringing the pay ranges to you to approve, and that will be what we'll do moving forward. You'll still be able to see all the salaries of employees on an hourly basis moving forward, or their salaries. I'll still present that to you, but that will be what we'll be asking you to adopt instead of pay ranges. So I just wanted to note that.
Is that annually, Tyler?
Yeah, we'll be annually, and the only reason we're doing it in February right now is partially because I was trying to be a team player, and I know the agenda's been a busy one the last few weeks, so I've accommodated that. In the future, this will always be like we'll start discussing late October, and then I'll just need approval on that always before December. And then I'll actually be giving you that information during the budget discussions as well, so that you have that up front.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to have future discussion before budget on pay ranges and how they're established, whether it's yearly for COLA. Is that what we're adopting?
No, so we're not getting into that tonight. One of the things I did mention with the JP&L committee for this year is really taking we need to take a look at some salaries. We did I would say an overview of salaries for the 2017 year, which we did back in 16. But there's some salaries that, based on some market overview, that we need to take a closer look at. So that will be prior to kind of the budget discussion, so you have that data up front. And I'm working with JP&L committee and getting some direction on that.
So my only input, so you know ahead of time, would be I definitely agree with establishing salary ranges based on market comparables. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'd like further explanation on adjusting them yearly for COLA. So that's just my concern.
Okay. Do you want me to explain that, or just leave it?
I assume it's because people are over their salary range based on receiving a cost of living increase. But
sure. Yeah, and that's why a lot of agencies will also adjust the ranges based on COLA as well, because it's just a cost of living adjustment. So if you're between 60 and 70,000 and I'm earning 65, well, if I'm bumped up to, I'm just using easy number 66 because of COLA, let's say, right. Now all of a sudden I'm above the halfway point, but some would say that you would shift the pay range so you're still in the middle.
Which I might not agree with. Like, I think comparables, other communities don't have COLA necessarily, and so if you do comparables, we may be actually higher than the market rate for that position, and maybe not, but I like the fact that you're looking at market comparables every 3 years.
Sure. Just know that the pay ranges will be before you every year as far as approval. Yeah. Any other questions?
Wellness?
Yes.
That's in here too, right?
Wellness is in here, correct.
And could you just give me an update of when we're going to reassess the wellness card?
Yep, we just made a slight modification in the wellness scorecard's in your packet, but to tell you what that modification was, we gave points to employees for, if they were doing certain exercises as far as walking, biking, running, and stuff like that. Came up, well, what if you're doing that in the gym? Because we're also getting points for gym, and basically they were doubling the amount of points, right? So we kind of took that way, where we now even include more activities such as swimming, lifting weights. That's all now in just that one category. And then we kind of took away the ability to kind of double down those points. But it also addressed the issue of a home gym. That came up, if I have a home gym, do I get points for having a home gym? Well, if I just have dumbbells, does that count as a home gym? And I said no to that, because I'm not going to be the one that says that's a home gym, but that's not. So basically what our line was last year was go to gym membership, because we knew what those was. But moving forward, that's why we made that change to just have a bunch of listed activities, including that first part.
Are we looking to transfer this responsibility hopefully away from
yes.
you? Okay.
Yes.
And put it into like the healthcare
provider?
Right.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. So I've been a one group who we utilize. It's been something that I've been working with them and actually administratively taking that over in the future. And then that will give us some opportunity to do a little bit more with the wellness scorecard as well by doing
Thank you.
that. So that is in the,
Last question. I
Yep.
read in here somewhere that we give, if you're a new employee for that year, you don't have to satisfy the requirements, but you still get the benefits. You still get the,
correct, we do have that. So we do that for two reasons. First of all, well, that was included in the policy, and like I said, which the board approved. If you want to change policy, we can always go back. The reason for that, though, was to make that attractive for employees for recruiting purposes to come in. And, you know, as a new employee, I got to learn a new job, faces, you know, there's a lot to that. So, you know, I also put the limit at March 15th, that if you're hired after that date, that you wouldn't have to worry about it for that year.
you still get the increase.
That's correct, for that 1 year. Now, if you want to change the policy where, you know, we make it 12% or 12.5% halfway in between, we still allow them that if they get the wellness scorecard done, that they would get the next year. That's a change that we could certainly do, and I would be open to that. But I just did the 10% as a recruitment tool for that first year to help us a little bit. But I'm very open on changing that if you'd like. That's fine. Yeah, you're welcome. Other questions?
I'd ask Tyler to maybe, not in this round, but either mid-year, or at least in the next year, look at a whistleblower protection policy
Correct.
that's becoming much more common in private sector, well, it is private sector and nonprofit sector, it's something that's required.
Yeah, right now we have only language that says if an employee has an issue that they can go to the village manager or something, but we don't have any language that would say, you know, if they were to be, you know, speak out against, you know, a certain thing, or if they wanted to report something that, whether, you know, what those repercussions would be, or that they would be protected, in which circumstances. So that would be something that when one of my goals, and speaking of Trustee Macher, when the manual is brought to you for the 2018, so this year for 2018, that policy will be included. So you can expect that to come to you next time.
Any other questions? We have agenda for consideration here.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed, whoops, I don't know. What's the motion?
Adopt the updated human resources manual.
Yes, so moved.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor of the motion as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes.
Thanks, Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you all.
Okay, we move on to also on JPNL, consideration of committee attendance policy.
Sure, we have been discussing lots of policy related to boards and commissions and quorum, and one of the suggestions was to look at an attendance policy. Our handbook has always said that an appointee can be removed for any reason, requiring a 2/3 vote of the village board. But we wanted to say something specifically about attendance to give chairs more direction to take action, so that the continuity, you know, it's easier to make quorum. If people can attend regularly, the business gets done, there's more participation, et cetera. We can all imagine the benefits of full attendance. So what I like about this, our committee did recommend this to the full board in support, and the policy is requiring 50% attendance, which we think is realistic. In the case of somebody who is absent due to illness, we did not provide an exemption for that, just because we wanted to be consistent, and it still means that the person can't be there for whatever reason, they just can't be there, and then the business can't get done. So in those cases, a resident could reapply for their position when they are well and able to serve, and then could be reconsidered at that time. So for all those reasons, we felt like this is a reasonable policy, we consider it'll be helpful. This has not been, attendance has not been a widespread problem. It's more something that does happen occasionally, and we just wanted to set out a clear expectation and direction. Do you want to add anything, Tyler?
Yeah, probably the only thing I would add, so right now, kind of where our game plan is, we put it in as policy so we can get this going right away. And I think this, we want to make sure that all the volunteer committees here understand that, making sure that, the attendance requirements are being met. JP&L committee is working with Tanya to do a larger overview of the volunteer handbook, which trustee Zolciak has right there. And that will take some time, but eventually what the vision is that some of these policies or whatnot will be included in that. So just know that right now we have it as a policy just so that we can get this act enacted today. But know for the future that our goal is, some of these policies are very committee related. Trustee Maher, for example, asked about policy number 3, which focuses on appointment, a little bit about appointments to committees. I think that's also policy number 30, yeah. And that was the one that I originally worked on with all of you when I first came here. So there's a few committee-related ones that will be incorporated in the committee volunteer handbook. So just understand that that's kind of a next step of that. But to get this going right away, that's why we're bringing it as a policy to adopt tonight.
So basically, the policy is 60%, but removal still has to have the 2/3 board.
Yes, you need a 2/3 vote, correct, and that did not change from past practice, right?
What if someone's pregnant? Is there any legal issue with discriminating because they are pregnant, not able to attend?
So actually, that's a great question, and that it wouldn't be right. There are illness, there could be several reasons, and that's why we'll put a trigger in that's, if someone doesn't meet the attendance requirements, they have to meet with the JP&L committee. And I think when they were to meet with them, the JP&L committee, they would say, I did not attend because, or I wasn't able to attend because of pregnancy or an illness. And that's why we have that meeting with the JP&L committee before bringing it forth to the village board. And they may decide in the JP&L committee, due to that reason,
They'd be advised.
we would make, you'd make an exception if they would want to do that. But right now you have that flexibility that if you have that situation, JP&L can make, an exception for someone not being able to attend for those kind of reasons.
And the idea would be that if somebody was at risk of being considered for removal because of attendance, there'd be communication, so it wouldn't be just that somebody was removed. We're not looking for this to be a disciplinary action. It's more of just setting an expectation and then providing some direction on how to navigate that.
Thank you. I have two more questions. It sounds like if you are removed because you're sick, you can be reappointed if there is an opening, correct?
Well, and if they're interested.
Right.
Yeah, they could reapply,
But
absolutely.
you need an opening. I mean, if it's already been filled.
Right,
Okay.
correct, correct.
And they could participate, they just wouldn't be a voting member until they were appointed. So the committees are all open, so people can participate at every one.
And then lastly, I don't know how to go about this, but the sentence that says a member may be removed from participating on a board or committee for any reason, I would like to define that better. I'm worried that if someone doesn't, if there's not enough standards behind that, it could be a he say, she say, any reason is worrisome to me, that it could, where else is that said and why do we need that in this?
Yeah, that removal section, I barely tweaked, I just added it to the policy because that has been in the handbook. That came up when we were talking as a JP&L, with the JP&L committee that, okay, okay, great, we have this policy, but what happens is, and, how does the vote conduct? and it had, you know, the language in there as far as the, you know, the 2/3 majority test. So that's why I added it on.
Can we take
So,
it out here? Is
I
it
mean,
necessary?
you, as a board, you can do whatever you want, just know that that was language that we
Yeah, it's
previously
okay.
had. So, you know, if you feel uncomfortable with that language, and
I
you
mean, I
can
don't think
certainly
it
take that
necessarily
out.
addresses attendance, so I don't know that it's necessary here. And then I would like to revisit that, I guess, in the handbook whenever.
Okay.
I'm a little confused. I mean, now we've strengthened that you're actually gonna have to attend, and then there's gonna be actions, and this would be the next step in the process to take action. Unless-
But it's just any reason what I'm concerned about. I mean, if they've met, not attended, you know, 60% of the thing, that standard's in here, then that's a reason to remove them from the.
As a board, according to the handbook, as the board, we've always had the ability that for a member with a 2/3 vote, whether it was attendance or for any reason, that you could vote to do that. And that was language that was in the handbook.
I mean, could, you know, if someone's convicted of a crime or something, would we want to remove them? I mean, there could be lots of reasons that we might want to remove
I
someone.
just don't want like a chair of a committee not to, you know, if there be conflict or something, and that be a reason that it gets forwarded to the board.
It would, I mean,
Great.
I really can't see that happen. There's so